Does this mic work?
Hello?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they're talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you! Come on!
With Kevin,
Don't listen to Stefan in his prep race.
Stefan,
Fuck Philly.
and Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
The Lombardi Trophy resides in Tampa, Florida. How about them Buccaneers?
Brady under pressure, escapes the sack, launching one for the end zone. It's a jump ball and it's incomplete. And Gronk was there. And time runs out.
This is the end of the game.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. It's time!
And here we go.
You did get rid of fuck Philly.
Oh, you didn't hear it then. Good.
I was gonna say, I'm so proud of you.
It's in there.
We Might Know Sports, episode 86. Back at it. More football talk. A lot more football talk.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed their Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
It was a little hot up here in New York.
very hot.
Oh, it was a little chilly here. Like 72
Chill?
degrees out. Oof.
That's been, actually sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fall. Deal with it. Bitches.
Not up here.
Not here.
It's 90s all week this week.
Pumpkin spice is back.
That is true.
Love me some pumpkin spice.
That's why I wasn't here last week, folks.
Just for the pumpkin spice.
I was just drinking pumpkin spice at Starbucks all day.
Camped out.
Big show today. We got our NFL preview. We're going to give our predictions for the season.
Bragging rights for the year.
I think it's been more than bragging rights. I think we're putting a wager on this.
Again.
I know somebody's scared to do it, but
We're trying to figure out a point
we're
system
gonna
for
we're
it.
gonna bully him into it and make him do it anyway. That's how we roll on this show.
I think I found my one I'm willing to go with, too.
Okay,
You won what? Game?
The team.
your team.
The team, I think we have different.
No, we're doing a point system. We're doing the whole league.
No, it didn't
Yeah.
work out that way last year, and it's not going to work
Well,
out this way.
It's because I don't see anything on you. I don't see a fucking Jets team winning 7-8 games.
You know, there might be an opposite, though, for my team that I'm pointing out. Just going to say it. You guys are tripping on the Raiders, so we'll talk more about that.
No, we're not tripping. Raiders are garbage. Just lost their best player.
No, I think he thinks they're going to be worse than what we have.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys
I
have
would
them
bet on
super
Yeah.
hot.
I've only got them, what, like 11-5 or
And
something?
I have them
Yeah.
10 and 6.
You guys are tripping on the Seahawks. I don't know what the fuck you guys are smoking about that, but we will get into that.
Are we
later.
getting into this?
No,
now?
no.
What's going on right now?
No. Let's settle down. Let's dial it back a notch. I think we're gonna talk. These guys want to.
We talk rap beef and everyone's hyped up.
These guys want to fangirl over Big Brother for a little bit. So
We've got some catching up to do. The last time we talked Big Brother on the show, what was it? Haley, Fessy,
Well,
Scotty.
we didn't
were
talk
all
about
in the
Scotty's
house.
exit.
Yeah, so what was it? Haley? No. Fessy got HOH.
Yep.
And then
And he put up Scotty and who was across the way? Casey?
Casey. And for some reason he put up Scotty. There was no reason.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
And one thing I hate about Fessy, and one of his critiques was, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Well, guess what? Your duck just is like,
Your duck was a goose, buddy.
your duck was your goose. to make it to the final two. And the very next week, he found out the truth.
Well, and then the big news was the battle back.
My boy Scotty redeemed himself.
After, I guess I skipped ahead a little bit. Fessy was evicted out before that.
Hashtag not shocking.
Not shocking. Him and Haley had a funny conversation about being the 2 worst BB players ever, and they probably are.
Mm-hmm. Truth.
They probably are the worst ever.
To be fair, Fessy's the worst.
Fessy's the worst. Haley actually does do some stuff. I think that's why, skipping even further ahead, Tyler seems to be gunning for her now that he won HOH.
Mm-hmm. So, everyone's got 2 players now alive on the board, except Stefan. And Stefan's guy, JC, everyone's starting to realize he's a little shyster.
Tyler was not falling for his bullshit this past week.
Yeah, who do you want gone? Brett?
He was trying to pin, Brett and Tyler against each other, and Tyler saw right through it.
Yeah.
He goes, JC does this where he, or whoever's HOH, he flips them some crap to try to cause up trouble. And he goes, I'm not falling for it this week, JC. I'm not falling for it.
I see.
I did see Fessy do, he pulled a little Brett move there with his speech.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. He just was taking shots.
Yeah. But he said that and it wasn't even all true. It wasn't true. He just was trying to, rile people up.
Yeah.
Since I'm already out of this, I just want Brett to win. He fucking cracks me up.
I will say...
He's got a job outside of this.
Oh, he's got to.
Yeah.
Samantha holds the tiebreaker clearly. I don't think we're going to... I think the tiebreaker is
already over. Yeah. She's got all the HOHs.
Mm-hmm.
She's got everybody on that same alliance. I haven't seen an alliance dominate a whole season like this.
Usually there's some self-destruction. You thought you'd start to see it with Winston gone. And unfazed. And it was like every time they had their backs against the wall, somehow, magically, the other team, you had Haley, HOH, Rockstar goes home. You got Fessy as HOH.
Fessy took shots at his own team. He didn't even care. Idiots.
Freaking amateurs. God.
Show's almost over, right?
Yeah, you don't have to talk about it much. God. We can move on. Actually, we just caught ourselves up.
We caught ourselves up.
We want to talk about the poll, or we want to talk about a couple of little highlights of the NFL?
We can talk about the highlights because I still gotta do some stuff on the poll here. Whoa.
Let's get into this one.
Well, let's talk about the lesser
of the two
controversial one.
Still controversial.
Yeah, the lesser.
So Khalil Mack has finally ended his holdout and got what he wanted. Forced to trade. Got paid.
Excessively
paid. To a better team? No. Probably not.
No, I'm going to say it. No.
But I mean, they do.
Although Kevin thinks they might be equal.
Kevin's probably got them with a better record, honestly.
The Bears?
Yeah.
I think it's was it 6-10? It's the same.
Yeah. So Kevin's on crack. So
I'm the one on crack.
They do have some promise, though. I mean, it's a young team.
I just don't.
A lot of young talent.
There's something about Trubisky I just don't trust.
I mean, I haven't seen enough of him, I feel like, to make a good judgment on him. And this will be a big year for him if he can make that step forward.
He has Allen Robinson. They're going to run that Tariq Cohen in the slot quite a bit, they said this year.
He's got Jordan Howard.
And
they got some talent.
They have a tight end, too, that's decent.
They just got Trey Burton.
So they have some talent. Yes, if he has a bad year, I think it's safe to say he might not develop.
I think the craziest thing about this whole thing was after this trade went through, the Bears Super Bowl odds went from 100-1 to 40-1.
Because of Mac?
Just because of Mac. I was like, how How do you jump up that much because of one defensive
Isn't
player?
he only like 26, 27? They said it's kind of unprecedented for a defensive player of his caliber, as young as he is, to get traded.
Many people just believe in the Hall of Fame hype behind him.
My big thing is the Raiders trying to cover their tracks after the outburst of Mac being traded. Like Gruden saying, "Oh, I didn't have much to do with it," and then him coming back, "It was a group decision."
Mm-hmm.
You are $100 million man. You are involved in every decision.
Yeah.
Don't try to say that you had nothing to do with it because you don't want to take the heat of him going. You're putting your foot down like you always do. Gruden's hard on his team. He's a no-nonsense guy.
Do you guys think that like you should invest that much money into one defensive player?
I don't think you should invest that much money in a head coach.
Well, yeah, I think we can all agree on that too. A head coach who hasn't even been coaching for years.
In his last 14 years or something like that, he only made the playoffs twice.
He's only won a Super Bowl because of Dungy's team.
What he inherited, yeah.
Yeah. Mm. It's not like he went out and won a Super Bowl on his own. Yeah, I mean, it was a messy situation. Glad for it to be resolved.
Well, speaking of that kind of messy situation, real quick, it's not on the notes, but is Bell going to sign before week 1, or what are we doing here?
I think Bell is completely content with not playing. I think he wants out of Pittsburgh.
Why?
You think he's going to give up $14 million?
Him.
But I feel like that's one of the... Well, we'll see on our predictions if you guys agree, but on my list, one of the 5 best teams in the league. It's one of the few teams.
You have them, I think, as your best team.
I do, because I think their division is straight trash. So I pretty much gave them the sweep. There's 6 wins right there.
They're bound to lose at least.
I gave them the best in their division, but I have them as 8-8. That whole division is a dumpster fire.
That's why we're doing the whole thing, because he's got some outlandish
he obviously
predictions.
Is NFC heavy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that he's sick of getting the franchise tag. I think he feels like he deserves to get paid.
It's hard when he just got to see Gurley get paid and he wants that kind of money.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's been one of the best running backs in the league, if not the best running back in the league.
I think as far as well-rounded, he is the best.
But he's also had his issues where he's been suspended and hurt. Yeah.
But when he's on the field, he's the best player. Best running back, excuse me.
But you know as well as anybody that, I mean, Sam Bradford's one of the best players when he's healthy and on the field.
No, that's true.
But he's not on the field.
I mean, a lot of people wouldn't guess that, but that is actually true.
Yeah. Shout out Sam Bradford getting the starting job.
Hey, it was honestly his to lose, and he will lose it week 4. Maybe one half. I might give him a half.
I'll bet that.
Week 4?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he'll make it through a half. He might not.
Getting into everybody's favorite topic of the NFL.
All right.
Colin Kaepernick.
I gotta go take a knee on this one.
Colin Kaepernick back in the headlines, not even playing or doing anything remotely close to the NFL. Now he is
the face of Nike for the year.
I was gonna say many people are assuming that Nike just all of a sudden started paying him again for a sponsorship deal. He's been under contract for a while.
Yeah. They've been paying him for a while, but the big thing was they weren't open with the NFL that they were paying him before Nike signed that huge deal with the NFL.
8-year
so they
extension.
totally pulled the wool over their eyes with that said, and here's your enemy. We're going to put him on our ad campaign.
Boom. Take it, nugget.
Yeah, so a lot of people are not very happy with this.
A lot of fans cutting the logos off.
Why?
Yeah.
I never understood that. You just paid like $100 for those shoes. Why are you cutting the swooshes off? You're not punishing
That's why
Nike.
put out a statement, we're still winning.
Yeah. Like, come on. Hashtag fail. Yeah. Did I lose him? I hope not. Hello, come in. There we go.
Hear us?
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
Also, we know a couple teams are playing like. Let's be honest. Sam Darnold is not better than Colin Kaepernick. So why doesn't Colin Kaepernick have a job?
Well, it's remained to be seen. We don't know that yet.
He's not better.
There's nobody on Buffalo that's better than Kaepernick.
No,
I'll tell you that much.
No, there isn't. There's no reason for him to not have a job, other than let's just admit he was blackballed. He's going to win his case.
But
The NFL might as well pay him. They booted him.
At
and
the
he's
same
not
time,
blackballed.
like, I don't like the whole. I don't even know what they're calling that. Would you call it blackballing?
Blackballing him from the league, like the Major League Baseball did against Barry Bonds.
Like
and he won that case, by the way.
The only way that they can really prove that, though, is like if they have like evidence of it.
They have something if
They
they're
have
taking it to
something.
court.
He says
yeah.
he says he has information of an owner meeting and them discussing it. How that was leaked to him,
Right.
all I can assume is one owner might have
Yeah.
been on his side.
Yeah. One owner probably didn't agree with.
Right, with the
what was
majority,
going on.
or a few owners. I shouldn't just say one.
Right.
But all it takes is one.
But I mean, at the same time, like, if there was something like that, that's one thing. But at the same time, like, yeah, he might be the more talented option. But just like with Tebow, like, teams did not want to bring him in because of all, like, his wasn't really negative publicity. His was more just this hype publicity that never amounted to anything.
I know, but I think there was more of an argument to be made that Tebow legit just couldn't play. He just wasn't good enough to be a quarterback. If he was willing to be a tight end or something else, I think he had a job.
I think Tebow would have been fine, but every time he went somewhere, he got hyped up as like, oh, is he going to be, starting soon? And like, so it's just like constantly they were just getting pressured, where he could never just sit back and like just learn the position.
I think he got a raw deal in Denver. I thought he had found a home. He won them a playoff game, and then he was gone.
But
After that, I don't feel like he got a raw deal. It didn't seem like he was as good as the other people. I mean, on the Eagles, he was never going to play over Vic. On the Patriots, he was never going to play over Brady. So, I don't know. I feel like on Denver for a few years, he didn't need to get the boot. I don't know what transpired for that to happen. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate, but I've seen everybody's big arguments is that, they should be putting like military people in. That's always everybody's big argument. I mean, I love the military. I think we all love the military. Nobody has anything against the military. But like, I don't know. I just think everybody just automatically jumps to that. And it's like,
my big thing is that last year we saw Kaepernick play, San Fran did not have a lot, and he's actually won some games.
Yeah.
He won one game his last year with San Francisco. They went.
Would he
1-10.
only beat the Bears?
Yeah, they went 1-10.
He played. He didn't play all those games, so
He
only
played
won
in-
1 out of 4 or
He
something.
started 11 games and only won one.
Oh, I didn't think he played that much.
I mean, he played quite a bit.
Well, shout out to Jimmy G then for winning more than
He
one.
did have a passer rating of, where is it? Well, Wikipedia doesn't give me passer rating. There it is. 90.7. So 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
16, is that what you said?
Yeah.
16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in 11 games. So his defense blew ass. He can't play every position. He also took his team to the Super Bowl one year. That's something a lot of these quarterbacks can't say that are playing right now. So, I don't know. I think at the very least he could be a backup somewhere.
Oh, definitely.
And he could be a starter on a handful of teams.
But
I mean, you got to remember he's a couple of years removed now, and he's not going to be as good as he was.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's.
I just meant it never should have happened, though. He shouldn't even be years removed.
I believe that, but I mean,
all because he kneeled. Why aren't we booting everybody out that kneeled?
why didn't he go to or try to go to Canada if he really wants to play football?
Well, that's a whole nother question because I don't know. Everyone's talking about him getting entry into the league. I haven't heard him come out and say he wants to play.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to play anymore. I think he's fine with doing his social stuff.
So do I. Now that he married that social activist, and then that's when it all began. I believe like that's his new passion. They have that passion together, and that's what they're doing.
At the end of the day, you should be able to protest what you want to protest.
So it's safe to say none of us agree with Jerry Jones forcing the team. What about
But they don't even remember they made those guidelines or whatever that everybody you either had to stand or be in the locker room.
Yeah, Jerry's not even letting them be in the locker room.
Yeah, right. But they got rid of that too.
But yeah, so now they're fighting with the Players Association. So now that whole thing's kind of been put on hold. So we'll see what happens.
On the total flip side of things, everyone credits Colin Kaepernick. Heard stand up and say, I absolutely would never kneel. I don't care if my whole team kneels. I'm standing up and saluting the flag. So I think we could he's not the only one, but he's one of the ones that's been more vocal about it. And he's taking backlash, I guess, from some of his contemporaries because they're saying, hey, we're trying to make a point of protesting. And he's saying, so am I. Making a point of honoring the flag how I see fit.
Right.
So
I
think shout out to him for standing true to his beliefs and not getting sucked in. Although I know it makes him look like he's being owned by Jerry, I think he is just doing his own thing.
Yeah, I agree. Too bad he won't be in the league for long because he sucks.
This guy probably has Dallas 4-12.
No, they got like 7 wins, I think.
Man. I just want football to be back. I just want to not have to do this to get you guys to be on the screen. Uh-oh. Doesn't like me doing other things here. There we are. Sweet.
Pulling up the poll.
Yeah, and also Mr. Joseph. We need to find someone other than Skype to be doing this, apparently, because you guys keep freezing on me, and it's getting annoying.
Right.
It used to be like a second, and now it's becoming 10 seconds, and it's just 10 seconds of, come on. Oh, there you go again. All right, let's get Joe on the phone. Hangouts, complete.
So this is the real week 1 college football. Even though it started a week ago.
So last week was just called preseason?
Apparently.
No. I didn't know what to call it. Leave me alone. Too much going on. Go ahead and talk about the top 10. At least introduce. Oh, Joe's just going to ask. So never mind. Who we got?
In our top 10?
No, hold on. Let me find the right page. There we go. Oh, God. After this, I'm going to get a beer because I need something.
Hello.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Good afternoon. How's it going out there?
It's a lot cooler here than it is there.
I wish that was here. Believe me, I'm ready for that nice fall weather.
I think we all are.
All right, Joe, we have our top 25 poll established. Our top 5 stayed the same. Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Wisconsin, Oklahoma. And then from there, I think the effects of Washington losing to Auburn happened. But Washington was not our big drop of the week. It was Miami falling from 8 to 15. And Michigan dropping from 14 to 7. Those are actually our only two that
14
really
to 21.
Whatever.
Dropped 7 spots.
Math's hard.
-7.
Yeah. So, our big move of the week was LSU, up 9 spots. That was a pretty impressive win. Do you agree, Joe?
Absolutely.
What did you take away from this weekend's college football action?
Week 1 was pretty exciting. I think a few things were established. Alabama is who we thought they were. Same with Clemson. I think each team has 2 quarterbacks that can play the game and play the game well and not have to really worry about too much of a drop-off. Although, there's still some question out there about Jalen Hurts, with some of his arm stuff and his passing skills, but he's established. He's a winner. But I think Clemson and Alabama are definitely separating themselves from the pack. LSU, proven that, they were a little bit underrated, and I think could make a, strong case to possibly give, Alabama a game, but probably not. But strong defensive performance. I think the offense played really well, executed well. So hats off to LSU, that coaching staff. I've always been a big fan of Ed Orgeron. Obviously he's coaching out at SU, and he's always been given that interim status, but no one's ever really gave him a shot. I'm really happy for him and that he was able to get that shot with LSU. And I know a lot of people were kind of, after squeaking out the win to SU and then losing the FCS team the week after, a lot of people were like, he needs to go. But, he finished strong, ended up going to a bowl game, and I think it's really going to, turn that program around down there. Another thing is that, as we all know, the big thing up here with SU is, trust the process. I think same's going to be said with Florida State, making that coaching change to Willie Taggart and implementing a whole new system. There's going to be growing pains. Yes, they have athletes, but definitely they struggled last night against Vatech and a very well coached, well disciplined, good defensive football team.
I'm putting the over-under for the Syracuse-Florida State game next week, I believe, at 1,200 yards. You agree?
Oh, jeez. I will say this. I saw a lot of gaps in Florida State's defense. I hope Dino was watching that game last night, because I definitely was doing some X's and O's of my own, and especially watching what Florida State was doing on the defensive ball, or maybe lack thereof. But, they left a lot of things open. Those linebackers, I don't know if it's inexperience or just, hype or just whatever, but missed assignments. They were overreacting to the ball and totally out of position. Flowing one way, the ball was coming back the other way. And Vatech cornerbacks, especially in that first half, had a lot of running room. And, I'm not as impressed with the up front, on either side of the ball for Florida State. SU's line is much improved, and I would take that game from funny that maybe a coin flip now. I think, honestly, after watching this weekend's game, SU could very well contend for second place in that side of the ACC. I don't see why they couldn't.
I feel like Stefan's going to want us to have that as our game of the week next week, because he's shaking his head no.
Please put that game on there. And please, everybody pick Syracuse.
nothing impressed me that didn't impress me with SU. Everyone was like, oh, they let up 600 yards. Won the game, meant nothing. That was a totally different look SU team. It wasn't any team of the past. Teams of the past would have struggled with Western Michigan, and they came into that game. They stepped on their throat. I think any letdown or what happened in that second quarter was all coaching. I think as a coach, you make that decision. Now your players are like, oh, crap, coach thinks this is in the bag. We're going to coach for a little bit. And they got gassed for those few bunch of series. And then once, put Dungy back in and players realized it was serious, they stopped them once again. So, I mean, granted, it wasn't pretty there for those 5-6 series when Dungy wasn't in. But I got to say, it's a much different look team. And some of these underclassmen that are performing at high levels are just going to be exciting to watch in the years to come. I'm really excited for that Cisco kid. Early pick in his career and just all over the field. Did he have mistakes? He's a freshman. He's going to make mistakes. But overall, he played at a high level defense. Didn't pressure the quarterback much, but I don't think they really ramped up their game plan. I think they thought they could win by rushing 4 guys and doing all that, and they did. So I think it's going to be highly competitive behind Clemson there at PCC.
At the end of the day here, though, they were playing Western Michigan.
And at the end of the day, we know Syracuse has struggled with Akron and Connecticut and those type of teams. So,
they look great against Western Michigan, which they're supposed to. So,
right, exactly.
And last year, I mean, really.
Oh. Well,
they took care of business more than what people.
But how many? Like that's like a 1 in a million. Like they wouldn't beat Clemson every like. If that game got played
10 times, they won 1.
Yeah, that was probably the 1 out of 10.
All right. Well.
What if they show up and compete? I don't think they have a chance against Florida State.
They do have back-to-back years with 1 win over a top 25 team, so anything's possible.
Obviously, it's a game. Anything is always possible.
That team did not impress me.
How dare you go against the We Might Know Sports top 25, which they are not even in, so I'm guessing the real one they're not in.
Exactly. So, they're not a top 25 team, therefore suspect. SU will compete. SU will pull off the upset.
Joe, how'd you feel about that Auburn-Miami game?
Auburn-Washington?
They didn't play yet?
Auburn-Washington.
Washington. About Auburn-Washington, excuse me.
I don't know what to say about that one other than the only thing I know about it is the final score. Unfortunately, I didn't watch much of Saturday's games, especially then I was watching my own football. And, I mean, that game could have went either way. I don't think it really says much. It says a lot about Auburn. It says, Washington might not be ready to compete against that level, but I don't think it says much as far as what Washington will be for the rest of their schedule, seeing how that was probably their toughest game.
That was, I think, the Pac-12's chance to show that they're here to play this year, and they didn't look too bad, but they obviously didn't get the W. They had a good defensive battle with Auburn. I will say that. A lot of key opportunities missed by them and 2 key turnovers by their quarterback kind of did Washington in there. But I'm looking at this week's AP poll, and Florida State also did drop out. So you have that for you. Looking over, let's move on to the picks. Joe, you won the week.
I just want to ask Joe a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you think that there's anything to worry about with Penn State or Michigan State? They both kind of struggled against subpar competition.
I wouldn't say Appalachian State subpar? Are they FBS? No, but they're no slouch. Obviously, remember what happened 10 years ago? They went into Ann Arbor, done Michigan. So I wouldn't call them a slouch. It's week 1. Teams, really don't show a lot. They do it just enough to win. Michigan State, Utah State, they won. They won. They pulled out the win. They're cookie, concerned, but, they'll get going. They'll start playing tougher opponents. They'll get into league play, and they'll open up playbooks, defensive schemes. All these teams, don't really show much of anything against these subpar teams, and they do just enough to win, which almost cost them because they could possibly lose. But I think Penn State's all right. Michigan State, I'm never high on. A lot of people usually are, but they always seem to falter down the end. But I think Penn State could possibly be right there at the end of that. But, we'll see. I think one team that's obviously more so than Penn State or Michigan State is Michigan. I think they had an opportunity to come out and show that they can be competitive and, compete and be playoff contenders, and they dropped that early egg to Notre Dame, which seemed to have the contest, pretty much under the wraps from the get-go. It was ugly early. I know Michigan fought back a little bit, but I don't think it was ever in question. So, is there more to say about maybe Notre Dame being better than what people thought, or Michigan underachieving? Time will tell, but I think I'd be more worried about that Michigan team after this week's loss to Notre Dame and just how they'll respond. And
that's that same Michigan team that you said was going to have this great year this year, right?
What's that?
That's that same Michigan team you said was going to have this great year this year?
A lot of people said that, not just me, so I think...
Oh, well, I just remember you saying that last week. That's
What's that?
my fault.
Stefan's just poking you, Joe.
No, I know.
Speaking of Michigan...
I come in with sources.
Sources?
I'm not an expert on my own.
Oh, gotcha. Well, you need to check your sources then.
Yeah, Wikipedia probably I should exclude from now on.
So, obviously, Stefan's a little happy about the Michigan loss to Notre Dame because he was the only one last week picking them. He also got the Auburn-Washington game right, and that was it for him last week. So 2 for 3 last week for him. And then Corey and I got West Virginia and Virginia Tech right. And then Joe with the extra add-on with LSU, giving him the win for the week. And that leads us to week 2. Michigan State, Arizona State. I'm going to name it our game of the week. Why not? Even though it doesn't really matter if it is a game of the week or not. Michigan State, as Stefan mentioned earlier, struggled. Arizona State looked pretty dominant with Herm Edwards at the helm, especially offensively. That's why I'm picking Arizona State. Corey's going Michigan State. Any reason, Corey?
One game doesn't tell me anything about Arizona State at this point. Michigan State's more proven.
Okay. And Stefan, on the Sun Devil bandwagon for a little bit?
I just wasn't impressed with Michigan State's first game.
Throw the pitchforks.
No, not impressed with Arizona State either. Just less impressed with Michigan State.
Joe, who are you taking?
Michigan State's going to bounce back. Go Sparty.
Go Sparty. All right. And then for game 2, UCLA, Oklahoma. I threw this one in before the disaster with UCLA, and I tried to find a replacement game. Couldn't really find one, so we'll stick with it. We're Oklahoma to Joe, at least.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I figured clean sweep there. And then the other one that I feel we're all in agreement is going to be the Clemson Texas A&M Saturday at 7 p.m. I believe that's on ESPN. Yes,
it is.
The
Clemson all the way.
Moving the orange on. finally, well, not finally, Arizona, Houston. Houston looked okay in their first game this year. Arizona lost to BYU, so I don't know exactly why I'm going with Arizona, but I feel like the Wildcats and their quarterback are going to lead to the win over Houston, subpar Houston, without their head coach from last year or 2 years ago. How many years? Corey's going Houston. Why are you going Houston, Corey?
Well, one, their star defensive lineman right now is a top 5 prospect in the NFL, and I think he'll get to Arizona's quarterback. And he's not the only one on the line that has talent. They actually have a pretty talented 4. So I think they're going to cause some problems for Arizona up front. And then I'm just banking on Houston scoring enough on the other end.
And Stefan's also going to Arizona. Any reason? Other than it'd be different? Nope.
He has no idea. I'm also going to go with Houston.
Houston?
I don't know why either. I'm just going to go with them. So.
And then our final game, USC Stanford, probably better than our game of the week.
Ooh.
Maybe we should make that one our game of the week.
That would probably be game of the week.
Yeah. Saturday, 8:30, I believe it's on Fox. And I'm going USC. I like USC. I haven't. I being a Trojan right now. Why not? Stefan and Corey are going Stanford.
This is just your typical Kevin anti-Stanford movement.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I am anti-Stanford. That's why.
You're also anti-USC, so this has been a tough one for you.
Yeah, it was actually. Who do I have higher in the rankings? Oh, I have USC. Oh, never mind.
You got USC lower than Stanford, don't you?
By like 4 spots. It's close. It's close.
I think it's going to be Stanford.
All right. Well, you'll all be laughing at me next week then, or something. I'll be laughing at you. That's what I was looking at. All right. I believe we have a pencil in for Syracuse versus Florida State next week to look forward to. So that'll be fun. And anything else, Joe, before we let you go?
No, just a little tidbit for moving forward. SU Clemson, there's really no other games on that week that's impressive, or that might not be. That will probably be picked up by one of the other stations. So I could see that Clemson-Syracuse game being a 7 p.m. primetime game or a night game on ESPN.
Revenge served cold.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's something else to look forward. Syracuse getting some national exposure. Always good. Always pleasure, Joe.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye, Joe.
Later, Joe.
Later.
For some reason, Alexa just chimed in, too.
All right, Alexa, join in.
All right. Well, crap. I didn't. See, this is what happens when you spill something right before your podcast and you spend the next 15 minutes scrambling NFL themes.
You want to touch base on NASCAR real quick before we get into the NFL predictions? Do it.
Oh, you're going to make me pick already.
Don't worry, I don't have who I'm picking either. So.
Well, last week we had Darlington, fast track. Brad
Keselowski.
Stamping. He was going to be in the chase anyway, but that stamped it.
It
was a race that was ultimately mostly dominated by Kyle Larson. There was a restart at the end and some pit strategy by Keselowski to stay out, and he was able to win.
Now, I remember receiving some flack for my pick last week.
Yeah, and Buescher raced well. He's actually supposed to race well this race. He's one of the best there.
Look at that.
That's what I'm taking.
Hope he crashes lap 2.
That's Corey's only chance right
That's
now.
my only chance, yeah.
So he needs me to crash.
We head into Indy, the last race before the chase. Since I had Hamlin last week, who just squeaked by Chris Buescher. to give me the win for the week. I had first pick, but I had somebody who Kevin couldn't use anyways. I'm going with one of the big three, Kyle Busch. Try to take Indy, ride some momentum into the chase. We'll see, though. He hasn't been looking that great lately. I don't think he's concerned about winning another one. I think he's just trying to get in. Having said that, Stefan takes Buescher.
Take it, Buescher.
And through process of elimination, I am going with the 24th best guy in the standing right now.
And that is?
Allmendinger.
Allmendinger?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Allmendinger.
He's got to double check.
Well, I know he didn't take Allmendinger.
I was double checking too. I'm like, Stenhouse, check. Byron, check. Just going through my recent picks and realizing that they weren't good, and realizing down towards the bottom it's even worse. So that's why I went the way I went.
I just need a solid, like...
if you get a 20,
yeah,
I can't beat.
Yeah. So then it would be like...
Because even if I got a 60, that's only 40. Yeah. That's if Kyle got a perfect race.
So I need at least 20.
You need about a 20 and it's stamped.
18 for a tie.
Don't I hold the tiebreakers with 2 wins?
Ooh. Don't you hold it with the all total? Yeah.
Maybe Buescher's
Well,
gonna
I have
win.
the total
Maybe Buescher's gonna win,
weeklies,
though.
but I have 2 actual wins.
You have all the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
All right.
This strategy has proven better for me this year.
Yeah, worked out for you at least.
At least got you into second place. So.
Did not work out for me this year. Oof. All right.
And just downhill from there.
You've been consistent, no ones.
Nope. That was my
You got close.
That was my first bad one. Really bad one. I actually only had 2 single point.
Yeah, you only have 3 single digits.
I think that's what happened with me last year, and why I came in first was I didn't get any ones, but I came close once or twice, and I think that seems to be the key to taking first.
Yeah, I got 2 ones, so that obviously was...
You gotta limit your single digits.
Yeah. Especially when it happens 3 out of 4 weeks in a row.
My benefit is I'm the only one with 2 60s.
Yeah. I never even got a 60. I got a 58.
I got a 60 and a 59. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
All right. I did not preview this song for our next segment, so let me know when you're ready for me to play it.
We got a song for it?
I typed in theme song, so we'll find out. It's always fun.
Let's get into it. Let's.
Is this gonna get heated?
I think so.
We need some energy.
This is gonna get
Bring the
very
energy
heated.
up.
Better crack open this last year.
I need to listen to some Kamikaze real quick and pop back in.
Kamikaze.
Some Nicki Minaj.
Oh, that's not Kamikaze. Oh, all right.
Hello.
Apparently, this is the NFL theme song, not Fox's sports theme song.
Well, the NFL probably owns everything.
So how are we going to do this? I'll talk about each team in our prediction.
Well, we'll just talk about division by division, and then
we'll compare, contrast. Wondering why you guys are so high on Oakland, the team that went.
Well, we aren't starting with that division, so hold your horse.
We're gonna start with.
Let me go get a beer, and I'll be right back. You guys can preview.
All right. So,
you're one game different than me on Pitt.
I didn't say anything.
Well, you're like making fun of me.
I don't have them as my number 1 team, though.
That far off, they can't be.
I got like 7 teams with 12-4 records.
Oh,
so.
you're like me last year? Jesus.
I got 2, 13, 3, 13.
So it's a 3-way tie for first. They're my best team. I don't even have I only have 1 13.
I just come on, man. Come on. So when I was going through and picking my Pittsburgh games, I just kept having them win, and I was like, "Fuck, I gotta pick them to lose some games."
Like me.
I was like, "This is just getting not right."
I think
their schedule's ridiculously easy.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
why
Let's get it.
I finished with what I did because I sat there and I was like, "Shit, there's no way," and then I think I overdid it.
Yeah, you definitely overdid it.
Oh,
8-8.
with what you did to Pittsburgh? Yeah. You might want to give a couple games
Kevin's
back.
like, no, they're winning way too many games. Chops off like 6 games.
He's like, "Eh,
I mean, I ended the
that's right where they belong."
I ended their season with 6 out of 8 losses. So it's just like whoop.
So we're gonna start off in the old Great White AFC North.
Corey's division.
I don't know why it's the Great White, but I don't know. It's
We are them.
cold, it's awful.
It's always
It's
full of snow.
the dirty division.
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming. So, any big moves in this division this year? We've got
Not for Kevin. I mean, Baltimore and Cincy is the only thing that he has
Pittsburgh's
to
pretty
flip.
much the same as I mean, they just
Last
don't have
year?
Bell right now.
They
so.
won last year, so there's no switch for Kevin there. Cincy was third, though. Baltimore was second. So he just did the old switcheroo.
It was close.
I just mean
I
like no big changes to
I
any
can give you
teams.
no.
Since he didn't really
Baltimore
add
has
much, right?
roster moves.
So does Cleveland.
Michael Crabtree, John Brown. The big news coming out is he looks great when he's healthy. That's like we were saying, he's one of those players.
Mm-hmm.
Good when healthy. Cleveland pretty much revamped their whole team. We could go through their whole team. Tyrod Taylor, they drafted Baker Mayfield.
Tyrod, not Tyrod.
Tyrod. We'll get a full season of Myles Garrett. Finally see what that pick was worth.
Jarvis Landry.
Landry is
Carlos
there.
Hyde.
Yeah, they brought in
This
Carlos Hyde.
Cleveland team has just been revamped.
We should
completely.
see what Josh Gordon looks like this year, full season.
I'm kind of excited for this Cleveland team.
That's why they're the hard knock, though. I think a lot of fans are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's jumping on the
I-
Brown bandwagon.
I'm not expecting them to go 13-3 or something.
Team.
I mean, imagine if they just completely turned around and made the playoffs this year.
I think if they even have 5 wins, everyone will be excited. They literally didn't win a game. If they just get 5, people will be happy.
Hell, if they win a game.
Well, I think the expectations are more than 1 win this year.
Well, there are 10 bars in Cleveland with beer that will unlock for free if they win a game. So, hashtag doing it right, Bud Light.
And probably not happening week 1 against Pittsburgh.
No.
But Baltimore, they also, from what I hear, Alex Collins has a little chip on his shoulder. I think he was ranked like one of the last running backs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got that chip on his shoulder right now. I think he showed some promise last year.
His quick feet.
So we'll see how that pans out. They've got Lamar Jackson. It's kind of lighting a fire under Flacco's ass right now.
Flacco has weapons this year. He can't suck.
If Flacco comes out and just balls out this year, which he hasn't done, but
Isn't
got paid like he
RG3
was
also
supposed to.
on Baltimore?
What's that?
Isn't RG3 also on Baltimore?
Yes.
He looked
And
really
RG3
good,
looked
too.
better than Lamar.
Yeah.
But it's Lamar Jackson that has the name because he's the rookie.
Cincinnati didn't make any big changes, except
Hey, they're gonna win a Super Bowl this time.
Big move.
7 years.
The big thing for Cincinnati is John Ross healthy. You got to see his speed in the preseason as he was just running past defenses. That's got a lot of people excited.
Joe Mixon supposedly looking good.
Mixon looks good. We worked on our offensive line. That was what the team is claiming what was wrong with last year.
No, what was wrong with last year is that they
weren't trying to win
They
Super
weren't
Bowls.
playing.
I know.
Just to go out and play.
So this year, decided to fix the line, get a little bit Super Bowl ready. I am excited to see what John Ross can bring. Obviously, he has 4.22 speed. No one else in the league does.
So if we just look at where everybody, not even so much as records, but where we have everybody finishing, I think we're all in agreement that Pittsburgh will win the division.
Mm-hmm.
Then it looks like me and you have Baltimore with Kevin with Cincinnati in second place. Then Kevin obviously just flipped that. He has Baltimore in third. And we both have Cincinnati in third.
No,
I
you
have
have Cleveland.
in third. So I actually went through and looked at the tiebreakers.
And you gave them. Yeah, I did too.
Did you? Okay.
It's,
I wasn't
it's
sure
the
if you
strength
did.
of the win gives you the if you have an even. Well, first it goes head to head. Then it goes division, and then it goes strength of win.
Yeah, or it goes division, or no, head-to-head division.
It's your strength of win is third. Like
But that's
meaning
common
like
opponents, I think.
well, okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Where
The common
I went
opponents.
I went to common opponents.
You're right.
Yeah, I checked that out.
So, anyways, so we both did look it up.
Yeah. So my Cleveland, in my case, would.
I think there's a lot of people who think that is the order. There's not a lot of faith in Cincinnati this year. There is a lot of hype behind Cleveland, and I think the consensus is those will be the.
We're all in agreement, though, that this is Pittsburgh's to lose. They should have this division pretty much in hand, which they
You
have.
and I at least gave them winning records. Kevin does
years,
not believe
yeah.
so.
500's kind of winning.
It's not winning.
Let's look at Kevin's 8 losses for Pittsburgh. This should be interesting to talk about. He's got them losing at Cleveland, so he actually does think they're going to lose to Cleveland. So they are going to win that.
We should have.
They are going to open.
We should have picked that game then for week 1.
No,
I think I
wait a
actually
second.
thought
Hold
about
on a
it, but
second.
I thought that we were all going to
Oh, there it is. All right.
pick. He's also got them losing at Tampa.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. There we go. 9 and 7.
Whoa! Cleveland up here. Did you have that?
9 and 7. There we go.
Oh, yeah. 9 and 7 winning record. Okay,
There you go.
Enough's enough.
With the Tampa Bay.
I'm like, something wasn't
Tampa Bay
computing.
one was real, so that's still unfortunate.
Something was not computing there.
With Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm.
Yeah, Winston won't even be back there.
Hey, we'll get
If
there.
Jameis was
We'll
there,
get
I'd
there.
give
We'll
him a
get there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
the game
that.
is interesting though. Pittsburgh hosting Atlanta.
Yeah. He's got them losing to Carolina at home.
He has them losing at Jacksonville, which so do I.
I think I do too, probably. It's probably one of my couple losses. At Denver, I'm not completely sold on Denver.
I only did it because it was in Denver. If it was the other way around,
Yeah, it's tough, those road games. You can
especially
go
a
either
Mile
way.
High.
And I have them
New
losing
England.
to New England.
I think I have them losing to New England also.
And you probably have them losing at New Orleans.
At New Orleans, yeah. Probably don't have them losing to Cincinnati, though, at home. I think I had them losing to maybe I don't know. I don't
Try
think I
not
had
to
them
be
losing
hard on
home
Cincinnati
division.
too. That was the other thing.
What's that?
I was trying not to be too hard on Cincinnati. If you notice, there's a little streak of green there.
It just
Cincinnati doesn't.
just break it to him. His team sucks. Okay. I think he gets it.
Yeah. I get it.
So at least now we have Pittsburgh with a winning record in Kevin's, so that's good.
I think I put Cincinnati at 5-11 anyways. I don't have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm an optimist. They were threatening for a playoff spot last year. What's the difference?
They were. And maybe they'll be one of those teams that surprises people.
Maybe.
Maybe they're this year's Jets.
Maybe they're this year's Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, could be.
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills,
the
let's
Buffalo
get down
Bills
to the AFC
even this
East.
year's Buffalo Bills.
The division of the Patriots, because that's the only team that ever wins that division.
I think Buffalo's going to regress. I have them at 8-8.
I'm surprised you have an 8-8.
I have the Jets.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I have the Jets regressing as well to 4-12. I don't trust the rookie quarterback. And then Miami, I don't know what they did last year, but I think Miami sucks.
Yeah.
I thought they sucked last year, and I think they suck this year, so nothing's changing.
Holy cow. I was just looking at stuff. It's even worse than Corey's.
I'm not a fan of this division. I think it's just 3 crap teams with Patriots, honestly.
Buffalo,
Buffalo,
the
Buffalo, I
AFC.
feel like had some promise coming into this year, but I feel like they're not. Their offensive line is kind of shady right now, and Shady himself will.
Let's be honest. I think we are in agreement that there's like 6 teams in the AFC, and that's it. Like there's a huge drop off. Yeah, but I mean, that's you, Corey. Stefan and I at least have 6.
Yeah, I'd give 6. But I mean, that's playoffs right there.
1,
so
2,
there's got to be at least 6
3,
teams.
4, 5, 6. Okay. You guys have 6 teams with winning records.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many.
But let's see. So we all are in agreement with the Patriots. I think we all.
I think aren't we down the board pretty much in agreement?
Oh, Kevin has.
Oh no,
Miami.
Kevin likes Miami.
Yeah, Kevin does like Miami.
What do you like about Miami, Kevin?
They always seem to come away with things, and it's a hard trip to Miami for opposing teams. I gave a lot of teams.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if he was going to say the emergence of Tannehill.
Tannehill's back.
I just don't like their receivers are Kenny Stills and Danny Amendola. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to get you wins.
But they have like Devontae Parker or something.
Yeah, but he has not been impressive.
They got Kenyon Drake. Frank Gore, the ageless wonder.
What is he, number 5 all time in rushing yards?
He's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT of GOATs of running back.
Obviously not. We didn't pick him on our show.
God. I went over this last week. There can only be one GOAT.
Yes.
And it looks like me and Kevin agree. Kevin finally comes to earth with the Jets.
We agree on the Bills, too.
Even though last year he was the closest to their record.
Oh, yeah. He's got a good read on the Jets. So I probably should have gone with whatever.
Your Jets expert. You're welcome.
What do I have him at?
I got him at 2-14. You've got
4-12. Perfect, Kevin.
I went low ball again with the Jets. They'll probably win like 7 games. So this will be the year they win 7 games and fuck Kevin out of anything that he was supposed to do.
Goddamn Jets.
Okay, let's start off with you with this AFC West, which apparently you like.
Yeah, I mean, Oakland, I think, is going to be...
dumpster fire.
Okay, I guess dumpster fire.
Kevin. You got them winning the division.
They got Jordy Nelson. They've got... I mean, 2 years ago, they were one of the hottest teams in the league.
Because of that offensive line is one of the best.
Yeah, last year they were dumpster fire and got rid of their head coach and replaced him with Lou.
They weren't dumpster fire, but they didn't live up to expectations. They were 6-10, I think.
Still not a fan of Denver. I'm not a fan of Kansas City because I'm not a huge fan of Mahomes. Although I know he has a cannon of an arm. I'd like to see him prove himself, his accuracy.
Don't you think that Tyreek Hill is poised for a big year with that cannon arm?
But you have to complete those. I mean, you can't just... I mean, just because you have a cannon of an arm.
I feel like you can launch it up there and Tyreek will go get it.
I don't know about that. I think the Chargers will be the Chargers. They'll do their...
They'll suck the beginning of the year, and then they'll come on, and it'll be too late.
They'll start 1-7, and then win 8 in a row and miss the playoffs by a game. Although, by my calculations, they'll make the playoffs, so...
Finally.
Yeah, I think Case Keenum in Denver. I think Case Keenum was kind of just got hot.
So do I.
And I don't think it's going to be one. I think it's going to be one of those things, kind of like, even though I don't even think did Brock Osweiler ever really get hot? He just went and got paid somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Case Keenum, I think, is a great backup, great to come in and fill the shoes of somebody else, but I don't think he's
a starter.
Yeah.
We're in agreement. Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing is I have Oakland and the Chargers with the same record. Oakland winning the tiebreaker somehow, however it panned out. Kansas City at 8-8. I'm a little bit more of a believer in Mahomes. Just give him 2 more wins. And we are in agreement with Denver. I think they're at the bottom of the barrel.
I mean, 14-2 or something?
Yeah, it was a ridiculous record, and Steph and I were like, "What are you talking about?"
I'm glad that
I tampered expectations.
They got a better quarterback now, and now you're less high on them.
Last year,
it was all defense
all
last
about
year.
Defense on all my records. This year, I said F the defenses. I'm going with offense.
You realize that defense doesn't win the games. It keeps you in games.
It just wins the Super Bowl, which we are not predicting.
Oh, boy.
And then,
Kevin,
of course,
I
picked LA. I don't know if that's how the tiebreaker works. Corey, you can do the quick math. I just went with copy paste. I copy and pasted, and I basically moved Oakland to the bottom. Because that's how my records look compared to your guys's.
You have a pretty tight race, though, even with Oakland only being 6-10.
Denver always, I think, will have a bounce back year. And, I mean, they have Cleveland. They have the AFC North to at least keep them in it. I don't see what you guys see in Oakland. They did terrible last year with a terrible defense, and then they got rid of their best player on that terrible defense. And I'm not sold on John Gruden being head coach again. I've seen what he did, and I wasn't impressed in Tampa Bay. And I'm going 6-10. This is my team where I think I want to put a shot wager on.
We're not doing it just on a team.
I want to do a separate wager on this one.
All right, we can do you want to do a separate wager? So we're going to do a total thing, and then we're going to do just for Oakland.
All right, so if Oakland finishes 500 or better, I will do a shot per win.
You got them at 6-10. So why, if you think so lowly of them, you should have put them at 8-8 if you thought that they could win 8-8.
Well, that's what I mean.
Man up and fucking do 6. Do 6 wins. Like, be a man.
All right.
Pick 6 wins. You fucking own that 6 wins.
All right. Fine. Then we'll do the win difference. And I was trying to give you guys an out because if they go freaking 9-7, then you're going to have
more
to
than 6 games. Might be 7, but they're winning more than 6 games. You just made the case for yourself. They got 8 games, or no, 4 games, sorry. 4 games against AFC North.
Okay, and I don't have them winning.
They're also playing against what? The NFC what? Sorry.
West.
NFC West?
Yep.
It was also a dumpster fire, except for Los Angeles.
I was just trying to figure out if I even had 6 teams in the AFC with a winning record, and I do not. So I have it Pittsburgh, Oakland, LA, Jacksonville, New England, with Buffalo, Tennessee, Kansas City all fighting for those wild cards.
West.
Well, the last
spot.
The last
wild card. So you're gonna 6 games.
6 games.
So 6 games or less, and we are doing what?
6 shots.
6 shots. Or how's it going?
I don't know. You guys, I was trying to propose the bet, and you
take a shot for every loss
it.
at that point. So that way, if they go 2-12, then we really fucked up, and we have to take 12 shots.
Ooh.
This is gonna be a day where I've got like
going extreme here
off afterwards because
I'm just thinking that if we think they're 10
I'll die of 12 shots, man. You've seen me do shots.
If we think they're 10-6 and they go 2-12, we deserve to be punished.
On my birthday, I don't think I even did. I think I did 6 shots, and I died.
You came back.
I was dead.
You're back.
I was legitimately dead.
It's when you.
I didn't have a pulse.
It's when you realize Walking Dead isn't all it's crap.
I just want you guys to have some sort of reference for where your thought process is. Even Sports Illustrated has them at 5-11, and that was before the Mac trade.
Right.
Right, I'm just letting you know. Like, I'm putting it out there for your bet.
Sports Illustrated don't know shit either.
Well.
We'll see what we know.
This might be my fucking Denver pick that Clark had last. And,
apparently, guys are going to be doing 12 shots or something. 11
they aren't
shots.
going 2-12.
Like 5-11.
Cleveland, they could beat Cincinnati.
We should probably do the difference. So, if they go 6-10, we take 4 shots.
Well, he went 11 wins.
So, if they go 2-12, and like I said, we really did mess up that bad, that's 10 shots.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to.
Well, Stefan's got him at 11-5, so he's got to 1-up whatever amount of shots you do.
Fair.
We'll figure it out.
I also don't need you guys dying. I mean, it'd be great for ratings, but then next week it's just a bust.
No, it'll be awesome.
Got a new co-host all of a sudden.
Fireball's not even tough to do. We'll just down Fireball.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the AFC South. Whew. After that circus of a fucking division.
This is a boring one. We all agree.
Of a bet. Any big moves? We got Sean Watson back.
No,
with
we don't
Houston.
all agree, Corey. You got Houston finishing last.
Oh, okay.
You're so high on Deshaun Watson.
You were so high on Houston last year.
I think he was so hurt by what Denver and Houston did to him last year that he just gave neither of them credit this year. He's like, fuck
I'm not
both
getting
of them.
burned again.
They were supposed to go like almost undefeated last year, and he's like, nah.
Now that everyone's healthy on Houston,
it's not bad. Deshaun Watson was playing like an MVP last year.
I think it's flukish. I
could agree with you, but I mean, I don't have him too high.
10-6.
he's got him losing to the Jets.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about your 10 losses you got here.
He's got him losing to Indianapolis. Split in Tennessee, I guess. That's fine. I mean, I can kind of see your argument, but I believe in Houston. That's why I picked Watson.
Indy.
You have him losing every road game, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every road game. You only have him winning home games.
Fair enough.
What? I mean, how often do teams actually lose every road game?
How often do they win that many of them? Probably one or two, unless you're really good and elite, which I don't think they are, obviously.
Okay, so they could have won some more. They could beat Dallas at home.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
That's a battle of Texas. Dallas is not giving them that game.
Dude, Dallas is garbage. Why would you get that through your head?
The Houston's defense is not good, and Zeke will tear them up. Zeke is back. What aren't you getting? Zeke's back. It's over. Zeke's back. Zeke
Watch
didn't
how
play last year.
awful their offensive line is this year. We're not even in that division yet, so let's stick with AFC South right now. So, I think Jacksonville,
Except I think Jalen Ramsey's average.
but their defense as a whole, I think, is one of the best defenses in the league. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but
Yeah. They're going to be the run, the D and run game kind of game.
pound and ground.
Pound and ground. Ground and
Tennessee, Marcus Mariota. They didn't really add anything.
I just think
this year,
Tennessee's
did they?
average. That's why
Yeah.
I put them at 8-8. I'm not excited.
I'm not really
But I don't
impressed
think
with
they're
them.
I'm not
bad.
excited. We're pretty much Corey's got him at 8-8. Stefan's
Yeah.
7-9. I'm 6-10.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, I'm not sold until I see Andrew Luck actually.
That's why I did
Healthy,
that.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us are impressed with them until Andrew Luck actually shows that he's back to Andrew
that's
Luck.
one that Stefan and I agree on. 4-12.
Houston is apparently not that good. That's a great defense. That
They
Corey
don't have a great
loves.
defense though now. J.J. Watt missed all of last year. He's
So
back.
he's healthy and he's fresh as fuck.
We'll see.
So
He
fresh
apparently
and
can't make
something.
it through years.
Fresh
Last 2
AF.
years, he hasn't finished the season.
Fresh AF, bro.
He's doing it. I wasn't impressed with Jadeveon Clowney filling in. He did not look that great.
That looked decent.
They have McKinney, who's the linebacker, their star linebacker, which he should get tackles because everyone's going to blow right through that line. That sucks. So I'm not impressed. They traded their star corner last year to Jacksonville. We saw how well that worked.
But they've
Sucked
got
for them. Jacksonville looks studly with Bouye and Ramsey on the outside.
okay,
So
but
I'm not impressed with Houston's defense,
their defense wasn't good last year, right?
and it still shouldn't be. They didn't do anything.
But what they do last year, they fucking bombs away and just kept up with teams.
They kept up, but they lost all those games. Everyone's excited about losses.
They didn't lose all those games. They were playing well.
They lost to Seattle.
So-
They lost to New England. They lost Seattle, who you think's trash.
They're trash.
Um,
You're sitting here talking about how they just lost all their defense, and fucking Seattle lost everybody on their defense.
Russell
But they're
Wil-
12-4.
Russell Wilson's
The fuck out, man.
way better than
The fuck
Deshaun
out.
Watson. Way better.
Way better.
Way better. Like, not close.
Does he have a fucking?
He has a Super Bowl.
Does he have a DeAndre Hopkins? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl without DeAndre Hopkins.
Without DeAndre.
Because he had a fucking stud defense. That's like saying that.
He should
Who the
have
hell-
won too,
who the hell
but
is the
instead
one-
we decided to pass on the 1 yard line with Marshawn Lynch.
Who
He
the
went
hell?
to the Super Bowl again.
Who
with him.
the hell was Brad Johnson? Is that your guys' quarterback?
Yeah, but they had Warren Sapp.
Yeah, they had a stud defense, like Seattle had a stud defense.
Yeah, and they should have won 2 in a row.
But apparently Seattle can play catch up with theirs. Did you see their offense last year? There was games they would put up like 3 points.
Yeah.
The only
They
game
won.
they really did well on was that fucking Houston
Last
game.
8 games, Russell Wilson was the top-rated quarterback.
And they won.
What?
And they won games.
They won.
They didn't
Russell
make the
Wilson
playoffs.
is better than Deshaun Watson.
They didn't make the playoffs,
It is
but now
not
they're going to
that
go
close.
12-4 after losing their entire defense.
I think they have more talent on offense.
I didn't say anything about the offense.
I'm saying, well,
What did they add in
you
their
said
offense?
wins games.
What did they add in
You
offense?
said offense wins games.
What did they add in offense?
Tyler Lockett is healthy. Doug Baldwin's there.
Not healthy.
Jimmy Graham, which
So now who's their
is that
tight
a
end?
big hit?
Now who's their tight end?
I don't even know.
Exactly.
They don't even need him.
They don't need him?
No, they have Brandon Marshall too.
Who only made the team because the rest of their team is trash.
No, he made the team because he's a good big target. They don't have a tight end, so they need a huge receiver.
I will put a bet on this fucking one.
12-4.
If they win 12 games, I'll do 12 shots.
And if they go 12-4, I take 4 shots.
Cut the difference. You do 6 shots. You do 6 shots.
Wait, why am I taking shots if they go 12-4?
Yeah, why?
Because you're thirsty.
That doesn't make any sense. We're not even in that division yet. I don't know what we're getting excited about them.
That was the best part of the podcast.
That was. Well, let's just stay in the NFC West then. So,
Which obviously I think highly of. I have 3 teams with an average or above average record.
I don't think Seattle made enough moves this year, honestly. I think Los Angeles made some moves. They got rid of Sammy Watkins, but they added
Brandon Cooks,
who I don't think is going to make that much of a difference because I thought he was going to be a stud in New England, and he did not turn out to be. I mean, he was consistent
He was
in New England.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was getting yards, and he wasn't getting the touchdowns I needed.
Oh,
for
Robert
fantasy.
Woods was a surprise last year, playing
He's
as
been-
well
he's-
as he did.
I feel like the past couple years he's been there. He's actually been really good.
And then obviously they re-signed Gurley. The big moves they made on defense. They signed Sue,
Donald resigned.
Donald. They have maybe the two best defensive tackles in football on the same team.
Their defense is legit, and I think their offense is
Good.
with Goff. I mean, Goff proved that he can definitely play in the NFL.
And if he makes strides like he made from year 1 to 2, if he
Right.
makes that jump from year 2 to 3, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely.
That's why I have them at 11-5. San Fran, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Jimmy G. If he can make that team even 8-8, I think that's impressive. They don't have a lot. I'm fully on Jimmy G's D.
Stefan
So
is
we'll
too.
see.
Holy shit.
We're on mine.
Sorry.
We're on mine.
Sorry.
And then Arizona gave 5 wins. I don't think much of Arizona. Sam Bradford.
So they'll win 4 with Sam Bradford, and then
then
Bradford
one
will
with
go down.
Rosen.
Yeah, when
Fair enough.
Bradford gets hurt.
All right. Now you can go at yours. Oh, yeah, you're on it. You're on the GD.
I bet on the Jimmy G. You kidding me? But here's the question I want to pose to you guys: Do we think it's Jimmy G? Do we think Jimmy G is that talented, or has he just been coached up and put in great systems? He comes out of obviously a great system with the Patriots, with Bill Belichick, and then gets thrown into Kyle Shanahan just coming off this amazing year as an offensive coordinator, where Falcons were probably the highest scoring team I think that year. And then the Falcons dropped off immensely without him. So I'm not sure if it's Jimmy G. Obviously, he has talent.
My only argument for Jimmy G is if he wasn't talented, why did Belichick want him so bad?
No, and I don't. Obviously,
there's some
obviously
kind of
you
talent.
have to be talented to. I mean, you could throw an average quarterback in a system and they can be shit.
Because, I mean, even Brissett looked good in that New England
Right.
system. But Belichick wasn't over there saying, we got to keep Jacoby Brissett. There's something about Jimmy G that's different.
I think he's
So-
the real deal. I wanted to draft him in fantasy football this year, but
He was going
I
way
think
too early for
I think
my
he
blood.
went. I think he went higher than I wanted to go
Yeah.
for him, and so I settled for a Joe Flacco instead.
All right, and then my NFC West, I agree with Corey. I like LA and Seattle. I'm not on Jimmy G's dick as much, but 7-9. I think they made a lot of good moves.
7, 9, 8-8, and you have them at 10-6.
And they're gonna go 1-15 probably. And then I have Arizona 5-11. I'm not impressed with what they have down there. They have a running back. That's about it.
Do we all have Arizona at 5-11 then?
I think so.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go 11-5. Cool.
Where you want to go next?
I really think that's gonna be a division. I don't. You guys think it's gonna be a battle out between Seattle and Los Angeles. I think it's gonna be San Francisco and Los Angeles, but
time will tell.
Time will tell. Let's go over to the other cold region, the NFC North.
Winter's coming.
Winter is coming in the AFC North.
It's just coming up north.
Okay. So
you mean down
we got
to the...
Rodgers back, healthy. Who I don't know if you guys agree, but probably, maybe.
Don't say the G word.
The best right now.
Fair enough.
Greatest out there now.
I think he means the most to his team.
Yeah, I think
of any other player.
I think we definitely saw that.
I think Russell Wilson could probably
make a claim.
Yeah,
I think so too. But he doesn't think Russell Wilson's that good.
So,
anyways, was just as good already.
Obviously, that game they had like the same stats when they played each other. So you can't sit here and say that Deshaun Watson isn't that good. He didn't play for a full season.
You can't tell me that Case Keenum can just get hot and Deshaun Watson can't just get hot.
Case Keenum, we've seen him. He's fucking 30-something years old.
We haven't seen Deshaun, so how can you say that that's going to happen?
How can you say he's not?
You can't argue either way.
I can't argue either way.
He just did.
It doesn't make any sense.
Green Bay has their fearless leader back.
And Jimmy Graham, who I don't think that much of. But
I think it's going to be a great connection this year. I would have drafted him, but did not get around.
In my other league, I drafted Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Graham.
Who he doesn't think highly of.
No.
Do we all have Green Bay finishing first? Or... Nope, you got Minnesota. I think Minnesota... I do feel like they have a better quarterback. I don't really know why I picked them to not do as well. I think they have a tough schedule,
be a little
maybe.
bit of digraph.
Let's see where my 6 losses come from. At Green Bay, fair. At Rams, fair. At Philly, fair. All road games. At home against.
You have them losing all. Oh no, home to New Orleans.
For some reason, I have them losing to Seattle. I don't know why.
They're not that great.
I had Seattle doing so poorly, I just had to start giving them wins, and I think that was one of them. And at Detroit. So pretty much just all road games.
Mm-hmm.
They got a couple of road games. They got a
one
couple
team can't win all
but they
games.
did win a couple of road games.
The Jets and the Bears.
Yeah. Those are tough ones.
Somehow you have them winning at New England, but I...
Could happen. I think Minnesota is one of those teams that could be a surprise team. They could finish much higher than what I have them at. Their defense has been a stud defense for the past few years.
They have the best defensive line, I think. The Rams are trying to make a call for that, but
I don't think they've really lost anybody on their defense. Stephon Diggs is coming out.
Adam Thielen had his coming out last year.
They've got a good offense. They'll have Dalvin Cook back. They've got
Kyle Rudolph. They have a good team.
They have some other running backs. I can't think. Latavius Murray, I think, is still there.
They got rid of McKinnon. Good move. Tore his ACL.
They got Detroit. For some reason, Stafford just puts up numbers every year, so I feel like they've got to win around,
I'm surprised you have them with a winning
at least
record,
close
though.
to half of their games. It's not like I have them way over their winning record. One game over. And I think the Bears, although my record doesn't really, I don't know what they finished last year, but
3-13.
I think they obviously will improve, but I still need to see more from Trubisky, just like you said. You're not a big fan of his. You don't think he's much.
He's even from North Carolina, and I just can't get behind him.
But, I mean, now that they got Khalil Mack, they're closing in on being favorites for the Super Bowl. So
Chicago finished 5-11 last year.
So Khalil Mack does not. I also picked these before the Khalil Mack trade, I think. So that could have factored in. I'd probably change it around a little bit. Probably have Minnesota at like 8-8. Chicago bumping up to 7-9. Maybe even 9-7. Maybe even 11-5. I don't know. You know, I'd have them. I mean, Khalil Mack makes a big difference. So I also heard that Khalil Mack will be doing kickoff returns, punt returns, fullback,
kind of money,
little wide receiver,
running back.
No wide receiver.
No wide receiver. No, he doesn't have hands like
Good
that.
enough hands.
Yeah.
For that kind of money, he might as well be the head coach.
Yeah, yeah. He's also gonna take some of that load off too.
Defensive coordinator, at least.
But yeah, no, I think that's Green Bay's to lose. You obviously think Minnesota.
I have Minnesota, but same record. I just don't think as highly of Green Bay.
Green Bay always struggles with their defense, so I mean, I get it.
I think
you're a big defense guy, so
I think Green Bay's defense is poor. Harping on me being a defensive guy. Detroit, I have it 6-10. They could easily have, like you said, a 9-7 record. I don't have a good read on Stafford and that team. They put up points. I just don't know if they can stop anybody. In Chicago, I have it 4-12. I do not like Trubisky. I do like Khalil Mack, but no Trubisky.
You love Khalil Mack.
I do love Khalil Mack. I'm trying to hold my excitement down this podcast. I want to be on the KMD the whole podcast.
Evan is not a fan of Detroit.
Nope, not a fan. 4-12. There's a reason why it's Detroit, and Detroit's never meant to win anything. So 4-12.
I think the Red Wings have won.
Although the GOAT rapper comes from Detroit.
You know, one
Don't
of the
start
greatest.
that conversation with me
Is
right
it
now.
the GOAT?
Don't start.
You know, we weren't allowed to include Barry Sanders in our GOAT running back discussions, but I'm pretty sure he comes out of there too. And greatest
Running back?
receiver,
I think so.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, Detroit has tons of talent and doesn't go anywhere.
So that's why I'm going 4-12. You've got Green Bay 11-5. I'm all over Aaron Rodgers and his luscious D.
Wow. Don't know if you have to go that far.
I mean, he lands
I don't know
Olivia.
how luscious it is, but
He lands Olivia Munn and Danica Patrick.
Yeah. Something to be said.
Minnesota 10-6. I like Minnesota. The reason why they went, different quarterback. They had 3 quarterbacks to choose, and they went, you know what? We're gonna pass on all you guys and go with someone completely different. Let's see how that turns out. 10-6, I believe, is gonna be what they're gonna do. They're gonna make the playoffs. I'm not worried.
I do. Yep.
And then Chicago, I believe they're gonna improve by a game and go 6-10. That's what I think Mac does for the Bears. Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Bears.
let's go to Kevin's division first, and we'll finish up with my division.
Ooh, can I lead off with this one then?
Yeah. Go for it.
New Orleans, I believe we're in agreement, is going to be the team to beat this year. Yeah, it looks like that. Steph and I got them going 13-3. Corey right behind us with 12-4. I mean, they could have easily made the Super Bowl if it wasn't for one play.
You don't know that. They could have made the NFC Championship. We can agree on that.
Yes.
But not say Super Bowl.
They had Philly's number.
They were going to the Super Bowl, and you could have probably easily won it. Drew Brees for president, 2020. Atlanta.
Well, I will agree that I was much happier to play the Vikings than the Saints.
You and every other Eagles fan.
Atlanta 10-6. Matt Ryan doing his thing. Tampa Bay.
A little bit of a bounce back for Atlanta.
A little bounce back, but I think I'm also going to make the shocker announcement. I believe Ryan
Bet on
Fitz.
this one?
Ryan Fitzpatrick. No, I don't want to bet on this one. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to start 4 games at least for the Buccaneers.
That's your shocking announcement.
Isn't Jameis suspended 4 games?
Yeah.
3. He's suspended 3.
I also don't think Jameis is going to play the first game back.
Yeah.
Say Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to look that great.
He's going to be phenomenal. I'm not a big Jameis fan.
Huh?
I'm not a big Jameis fan.
This guy not named his team after Jameis Winston.
Yes, he did.
You know what? He helped me
Big
fantasy
Jameis fan,
wise.
though. Not a big Jameis fan. Okay.
And then I got Carolina 8-8. They didn't really improve from last year, so.
Did you have Carolina being like Pittsburgh and stuff like?
Yeah, they're all over the board. They're all over the board. Just like in real life.
Corey, what do you got here? A little more realistic, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I have New Orleans at 12-4, taking the division still. I'm actually more impressed with how New Orleans was able to improve it. No Drew Brees can put points on the board. He just has never had a great defense. Carolina, I'm expecting a little bit of a bounce back for Cam and that offense. I think Norv Turner lights a little bit of a fire. I think they'll use McCaffrey in some interesting ways now with Turner. We saw what Norv Turner did with LaDainian Tomlinson. I'm hoping he can do something similar with McCaffrey. Also getting rid of Kelvin Benjamin and making Funchess the focal point. And if Greg Olsen doesn't break his foot and plays the whole season, I think things can turn around for Carolina. Atlanta also I have turning it around. I just think Atlanta needed a chance to live without Kyle Shanahan maybe and figure things out. And then it was simply because I have those other teams being that good that someone had to falter. That was Tampa Bay.
My question.
I don't know if I have Fitz winning a game, and that was a big thing.
Yeah. My question for you, even though he went 2-1 when he started last year, but it's actually about Carolina. You said bounce back. They went 11-5 last year.
Oh, they went 11-5. I didn't think they were that good. So I have them around similar. Whatever they did last year, I have them doing the same.
As for my NFC South, I agree with Kevin. With New Orleans 13-3.
We're pretty similar, other than Tampa Bay, but
not a big fan of Atlanta. That's mostly me being salty about Matt Ryan last year and wasting a number 1 pick on him and him doing.
You're gonna be salty after next week too.
Oh, what? What are we salty about?
About a loss.
Oh, wait, next week 2 you're talking about?
Week 1.
Week 1.
You're gonna be salty next week. The game on Thursday. You're gonna be salty about the result.
No, I'm not gonna be salty about that.
He expects to lose that game.
No, we will win that game. We could throw.
Super Bowl hangover is real.
That game. Anybody.
Super Bowl hangover is real.
You are not one of the franchises that wins back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yeah. Look at his. I'll take that bet.
Yeah, he does too.
I've got Carolina taking a step back. I just don't think they're that good. And Tampa somehow haven't won 7. I don't even know if they're going to win that many.
Well,
I was high on them, I think, last year.
So was I. Maybe that's why I went low. I
think I'm still a little salty.
Corey's doing the opposite. Anyone he was high on, they suck.
When a team
Denver,
burns
Houston,
you,
and Tampa, fuck you guys.
when a team burns you, you don't pick. That's how I am in fantasy football too. Like if a player burns me, I will never pick him again.
I know.
Never. Lamar Miller,
Sanu.
never again. Never touch him again. Matt Ryan, never again.
Sanu.
Leaves them with like 6 players that he likes.
I have very, very few.
Tell us how you feel.
I think it'll be a close division outside of New Orleans. I think the other 3 will be close.
We'll fight. I just don't. Well, with me having Tampa lose the very first 4 games, I obviously think once Tampa gets Jameis, they're going to be a team to reckon with. But
I got them beating Chicago. I got them
Right.
saying first three, though.
I think they're going to pull it together, but it's going to be too late, is my problem.
I mean, they've got a tough first
I know.
3
They
games.
play New Orleans, Philly, Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and then at Chicago.
It's not
Pittsburgh
an easy
Monday night
schedule.
game.
And then they get a bye, which is nice, but then they have to go to Atlanta.
Yeah. I think it's a little easier.
Then
Cleveland,
it starts to
Cincy.
get easier, where they start to get their wins. That's just a murderer's row beginning.
Now on to the champion division.
What?
I'll be smiling.
To the defending
Oh, shut the fuck up.
to back
Didn't even want to bet on it, so don't even.
champions. Back to back. Along with a back-to-back fantasy football champion.
Now we know he's high on dust.
Dust?
Angel dust.
Angel Dust. I dig Angel Dust, man. I'm into that. I've got
Fuck
Philly. The Eagles. Eagles at 12-4. I think they sweep the Cowboys. I think it's what kind of that. Sweeping the Cowboys. Yeah. Sweep the Cowboys. Lose one.
All road
Giants.
losses. So you have them winning every home game.
Yeah. Because they're unstoppable at home.
Unstoppable.
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 Guess what you're getting Thursday night if they lose.
Donkey of
my
the day.
phone will be off. So,
All over Facebook.
I mean, they definitely have some tough games. Atlanta's going to be a tough game. Minnesota at home is going to be tough. Carolina's going to be tough. They took care of them last year. I think they can take care of them again this year.
Will they have Wentz by then?
Yeah.
Presumably.
Wentz is coming back either second or third week. I think their goal is the third week against Indianapolis. But I think he might be back against Tampa. Although they don't need him against Tampa. I mean, it's Tampa with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I swear, I hope. 63-yard field goal. I don't even care.
I'm going out with Mark to watch that week. So maybe I'll FaceTime you. At Jacksonville, I think they could very well lose that game. That's gonna be a tough one.
Corey, you gonna FaceTime me when Tampa and Cincinnati play?
Maybe.
Dallas, I'm really not high on Dallas this year. I think their offensive line is kind of taking some hits. So I think that's going to really affect.
One hit.
A couple of guys went down. One guy's back, I think, but he's not back 100%. I think. At New Orleans, kind of a surprise. Even though I think they're like one of the best teams in the NFC, I have them going into New Orleans and winning. I think it's just me being salty at Alvin Kamara saying that they would have beaten the Eagles in the NFC Championship if they had won. I don't think so. Giants at home, they could win. Washington at home, they could win. At Dallas, fuck the Cowboys. Whoop their ass too. At the Rams, I think it's a very realistic loss against the great Deshaun Watson at home. We will win that game.
Why are we getting a full recap of your season?
Just because I just want you guys to know my idea of what I'm thinking of.
I was wondering the same. Like,
I'm like, I don't.
Going for the Eagles, chill. Because I just want you guys to know where my head's at for this.
Okay.
For this season.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna lose at Dallas.
Outside of that, this will be one of the few years that we will have back-to-back division
Which
winners.
you know doesn't happen.
That's gonna happen.
Which means Washington's probably gonna win the
Washington
division.
will win. Fuck Philly, right?
That's
I
gonna
do
be
think the
Jets.
Giants have the possibility to be much improved this year,
They do.
but I need to actually see it to believe it.
So okay, that's your rundown. I have Philly at 12-4 as well. I will not give the rundown. I have the Giants.
You're not gonna go through each game.
You gotta win a whole bunch right at the end.
Yeah, the
5 in
Eagles.
a row.
Fuck yeah.
Close out
I have
the
them
season.
winning at Dallas, like I just said they would.
No, sweeping Dallas too.
Yeah, I do. I have the Giants and Dallas battling it out.
Losses, dude.
And Washington in last as well. I just don't think Alex Smith has a lot of weapons to work with. Even though I actually like Alex Smith, I just don't think there's much there. Dallas, I kind of got to admit I agree with Stefan with that line being damaged. Even though I'm all about Zeke.
When your center goes down, that's a big hit.
It's a big hit. Travis Frederick is a Pro Bowler too. It's not like a nobody.
I don't think people understand like how much the center means to the fluidity of how your offense is running. Like that's all timing with the center and the quarterback. Like
I also think Dallas has a tough schedule. I think New York, I might be lowballing because I think they
4 losses are here. At Tennessee, okay, you're a crack. And the Giants is fair. Okay.
And then at Jacksonville and then at New Orleans.
I agree with you.
The big one is I have them, like their surprise win is at the Rams. But I think they're good enough they're going to get a team, they're going to beat somebody who they probably shouldn't have. And most teams lose to a team that they probably shouldn't.
Yeah. All right. All right, Kevin. Do you want to do your rundown of the Eagles schedule?
Dallas.
I have Dallas going 11-5. I'm still in faith with Zeke and Dak connection. I don't know why.
They win games when they're healthy. Yeah. It's not reasonable.
I believe in the Super Bowl hangover. I even have Philadelphia. I just realized missing the playoffs at 9-7. Let's see here. I have them losing to Atlanta and then going 4. I have them losing to the Giants in the Meadowlands. I have them losing to Carolina and Jacksonville. They don't have an easy schedule.
It's not an easy schedule, and I mean a lot of my games could go either way. I mean, I'm not like 100%. Like I mean, that could easily turn into like an 8-8 record.
I'm not.
That's the toughest thing about like winning your division is that you're then playing all the good teams next year.
I'm not
just to try to get in the NFL.
I'm not high on Washington. I got them at 8-8, and I was like, there's a lot of games I picked for them to win. It was a coin flip. And then the Giants, I'm just not sold on a team that just got a rookie running back as their improvement and a new head coach that they're going to be better than what they were last year.
Also got Odell back.
Yeah, but you still have Eli.
Who can be good when he's...
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I got him into the playoffs, right?
Yeah, so... I just believe Philadelphia is going to have that Super Bowl hangover. They're not going to win because of all the emotions that go through on that first game. And honestly, I was back and forth. I thought I was being actually hard on Philadelphia. I believe that. But a lot of the games I have them losing could go either way. So I could easily see them also going 13-3. So
I think a lot of it depends on if Wentz comes back to form.
Mm-hmm.
If he, comes out and he's kind of rusty, it's going to be a long season.
They do have a nice opening schedule with Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. So
yeah, it's a nice little ease into it.
Before you get punched in the dick.
I really am not I will sit here and call Foles the GOAT, but I'm not. I don't want him to play for a whole season. I don't think there's any way that he.
Peterson doesn't want him to play for a full season.
Sean was trying to ask me today if Foles goes out and goes off like the first game or something. Is there a QB controversy? And I go, no. There's no QB controversy.
Just means you have the best backup in football.
Yeah. And I really think
and are paying him so.
I really think Foles got hot at the right time. I kind of, as much as I love Foles, I wish that they had traded him while he was hot. Because now he came out in preseason and looked like absolute garbage. Yeah. So nobody's going to even give up much for him if if all of a sudden somebody's starter goes down.
He's just trying to get it out.
It's probably. I don't think he doesn't drink, I don't think. But it's going to be an interesting year. I didn't think they were going to Super Bowl last year, so I'm going to go in with the mindset they're not going to win this year. And
I got burned by them. I had them at 5-11, and they won the fucking Super Bowl. So I'm like, fuck it. I should have had them go undefeated.
So let's lay down the parameters here of how we're going to do this. I think we should do. If you guess the team finishing in the right spot in their division,
you
get a point. Okay. And we'll say you picked the record correct. say 5 points. Okay. So I think it's tough to pick the actual record.
Well, we'll know.
I think it's a lot easier to pick where they are finishing.
We'll know after a trial year. A whole bunch, right? Yeah. We'll know that it's not that hard.
Right.
All right, so what was the points again so I can write it down so I don't have to...
It's going to be a point for every team that you pick finishing in the right. Like, you pick Pittsburgh to finish first, that's a point. Cincinnati to finish second, that's a point.
Okay.
But if you pick their actual record right, so you'd have a potential to get 6 points if you get their...
So if you get their record right but not where they place, you're still getting the 5 points.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens? What does this equate to?
I think we go with
a thumb.
A thumb?
We want to do the 2 losing people do, or we want to do just a thumb?
The winner definitely deserves a thumb on this.
Yeah. Winner gets a thumb. I say the 2 losers do 2 shots.
Right. So our big bet is Oakland.
Yeah, we'll do the big bet on Oakland. 2 shots. 2 shots for the 2 losers. Winner.
Well, what about the whole Oakland situation? Is that incorporated into this, or are we doing a side bet on Oakland?
That's a side bet on Oakland.
Okay. And
so Oakland's point totals and stuff don't even count? Or they do?
No.
Okay.
No, they do count. Like, okay. it's all
no, this is separate from the no thumb on the line, just shots.
Just
right,
shots.
Yeah. Oakland.
And we agreed that we're doing their record differential.
So, just so I get it straight, and of course you guys freeze at this time. Want to make sure we get the right info before we go otherwise. Here, come on, come back. Baby, come back. Alright, there we go. Alright, so just so we get it clear. So if Oakland gets less than what you guys, or more losses than what you predicted, you're doing a shot per loss? Is that how that's going?
I think we're setting the bar at 6 and 10, aren't we?
6 and 10 is what I have them at.
Yeah.
So if they win
they
more,
go 7 and 9, you take 1 shot.
Okay, and if they go,
only 2 shots. What's the difference? I thought.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Should we just do the difference of wins or the difference of the record?
Yeah, just the difference of wins.
Difference of wins is what I'm kind of coming to the conclusion, because otherwise there could be a lot of shots.
So if they went 4 and 12, then we do 2 shots.
We do 2 shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would I have to do shots?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
You would do
if they went 4 and 12, you do nothing.
Okay. But if they go 7 and 9, I do 1.
You do 1.
But what about you guys? Because you got them going 10 and 6.
But you're so man up. Take this 6 and 10.
No. Whoa, why do I have to drink alone? I don't like drink alone. I think you guys should be punished for having them over 500 if they go 7 and 9.
Why wanted to do this? You don't want to do the side bet.
This is establishing the perimeters, and I think if they
this
don't,
is how we did it last year.
I think if they don't,
with the Jets.
That's how we did it last year. It had nothing to do with what we picked them at.
I think
about what you picked them at.
Why
You're so goddamn confident in it. Stick with it.
Yeah, but you guys are barely getting punished then. 2 shots? Come on. Double up.
What do we both have them at 10 and 6?
I got them at 11 and 5. You got them at 10 and 6.
Yeah.
So the only thing you could do to limit the punishment is set the thing at 8 and 8.
Yeah. So if they go 8 and 8,
I think less we take shots from 8 and 8, and anything more you do.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. And anything less you guys do.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. There it is.
Right. 8 and 8.
There you go.
8
Jeez. I just didn't want to be the only one getting punished.
If they go 8 and 8, nobody takes shots.
Nobody takes shots. We all do a toast to the fact that we don't have to do shots.
We're gonna all just chug a beer.
Yeah, shotgun.
I'll chug a beer. Okay.
Let's shotgun. Yeah. All right.
Did you write down those rules, Kevin? Make sure 8 and 8 we know is the
8 and 8.
8 and 8. Oakland. Bet.
Because obviously you think they're going to be less than 500. We think they're going to be more. So that seems like a fair benchmark.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other way you guys were proposing, I was the only one getting punished.
Well, because you're making absurd.
You're making We'll get there. We'll see this at the end of the year. I gotta find a goddamn Oakland thing. All right. We do have UFC this weekend.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
I made my.
No.
You made one pick.
Oh, you got Ben's picks in there.
Mm-hmm. Not really exciting card. Woodley Till is like the main event, and that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. We all have Woodley. We're all afraid to pick opposite. Maybe I should. You know what? Screw it.
Going for it.
Going for it. Everyone else is picking Till. I'm going Till that I've been listening to. So. And then we have Montano and Shevchenko. Shevchenko coming down from 135 to fight 125. I think she's just going to dominate Montano. Stefan making his last second correction. Oh, there we go. Stefan gonna
from a KO to a decision.
Stefan going for that belt.
I see other people go with submission, so I feel like it's not going to be a KO fight, so I need to switch it.
Yeah. Stefan received a message. Actually, I think I can play it. Might be able to pull it up here. On Friday, I was hanging out with our MMA expert Ben, and where is it? 7583. What was it? 8. All right. Apparently, it's not on here. That would have been too nice, huh? Oh wait, sorry, wrong.
I'll play the audio for you.
I gotcha.
Go ahead. Stefan, for the MMA Fantasy League, if you come from behind this year and win it, I will personally purchase the belts. $180, something like that. But until that happens, I should really think about how I want to spend my $180 because it's not going to happen. Good luck, bud.
So that's been thrown down. I'm excited because
how many are we just going until December? Is that
December 30 or 29th is the last fight for the year.
So you pretty much have until the very end.
Yeah, I got a good chance.
You still got time. I'm surprised you threw that down. Only being behind 13, you're like
I'm only down 13.
You get 3 fights right, and he sucks again because we've been struggling lately. We haven't gotten anything right since UFC. What?
I feel like this is gonna be a big week for me.
225.
Kevin, you and I just got
what?
We got one right.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it got us 2 points. Whoop de fucking do. Like,
hey, Ben got 0. We gained.
It's been a little hard for us lately, Corey. Though, I mean, you've gotten 3 points in your last 3 fights.
Not good.
Not good. I'm looking forward to the October 6th fight. Your boys, the Pettis brothers, are fighting. I included both of them because I know you're a Pettis fan. On that one,
you put Anthony on there too?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I'm getting that fight. I'm barbecuing some ribs.
I kind of want to see that card.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good fight. Derek Lewis on that too.
It's actually sweating. Just realized that.
I'm excited. Notice how for UFC 230 I have main event because they haven't even announced main event. Rumor has it John Jones just signed.
Rumor has it it's Jones.
Yeah, Jones has been very active on social media too.
Jones DC3.
No, I wish. DC's taking a little nap until probably Lesnar. I think this is gonna be Gustafsson Jones, I believe was what was said. This too is also a stat card being in Madison Square Garden. Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier versus those two, and then you got Yoel coming back versus Costa. You already given your picks?
Yeah.
Ooh, submission. That's fair. Anything else you want to talk about, Corey, before we go?
I'm actually excited for what the UFC is doing. I'm excited for Nate Diaz's return, obviously. I am also very curious what that main event is.
Yeah. And I mean, it's got to be announced soon. We're 2 months away now.
Yeah.
So, did you see what Sonnen's been posting about Jones?
No.
Jones made a comment about Sonnen, how he's got a big mouth, but never is able to back up what he says, which is fair because other than almost beating Anderson Silva and then losing to said Silva, I mean, he's just all talk. In fact, I believe he lost to Jones too. So, sorry, I'm distracted by your picks. Corey, always a overachiever when it comes to MMA. Is there boxing this weekend you're watching?
Yeah, I'm going to watch Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter for the WBC belt, welterweight. It's interim right now. The champ has been out for over a year with injury, so his belt has been stripped. That would be Keith Thurman. He actually beat both these guys. So they're really just fighting to get another shot at him. But that's a really big fight.
Is it on ESPN or anything?
It is going to be on Showtime.
Okay. Regular Showtime or pay-per-view?
Regular.
Maybe I'll try and
I'm a
watch
Danny Garcia fan, so I'll be pulling for him. But I think it's a 50. I think even Vegas has it as a 50-50 fight. It's pretty much no one can really predict it, which is the kind of fights you want.
Yeah.
Those are the exciting ones when you don't know the winner.
You know, I will say it's nice having YouTube TV because you have unlimited DVR space. So I've been able to like record all these college football games and watch them at my leisure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Showtime is part of a package if you pay like $5, but I don't want to pay the $5. That's the problem.
I just canceled my ESPN Plus. I had that going
really?
for a while.
I bought the year, so it's a little cheaper, $50.
Yeah.
But I was.
If there's another big boxing fight, I'll probably do it again.
Just use a different email.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Stefan. Stefan, bring us home as soon as you get your headphones in.
Sorry, I just made my picks. I was being an
I
was being an overachiever.
Jeez. Oh, wow.
You don't have to. I was just doing that. Because people could pull out by then.
Corey, tell Stefan to put his damn headphones back in.
My headphones are in.
Oh, whoa.
Just one.
I only
This
put in
one.
one.
Okay.
Sorry, you can only probably see half my face.
Kevin, how do you, if you don't want to give your pick away yet, but for that Khabib McGregor fight, are you excited? How do you think it's going to go?
I'm excited for the fight itself. As for the breakdown, I'm not ready because I want to watch. I got to refresh my mind on McGregor and Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov's last fight I saw him do was against Raging Al. That wasn't really a fair fight to.
No,
him.
It was more impressive by Al to go the distance.
So I am probably going to be getting the UFC Fight Pass version of the pay-per-view. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you buy pay-per-view fights on UFC.tv or whatever their website is, they usually have an offer where you get like 6 months of UFC Fight Pass for an extra like $15. So that's what I usually do. Every 6 months I'll get a pay-per-view, and the subscription keeps on going. Instead of $12
How much
a
does
month,
it usually cost?
I think it's like $12 a month.
Oh,
or 15, something like that. So
yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to do some research on these before I make my picks.
Yeah. I might even change them.
I mean, I've got the possibility of getting a belt right now.
I know, for $180.
Yeah, $180 belt. He's gonna buy it. He's gonna
This is like the Cincinnati Bengals saying they're playing for a Super Bowl. I'm playing.
Now you're trying to win.
Now I'm trying to win because I wasn't trying to win.
No.
In the beginning, and it showed. Now I'm all in.
Now you're out for blood.
Starting off with this Montano decision.
Hey, the champ winning. What a surprise!
I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying.
I know.
Going against the champ.
I know.
Yeah,
And then next card, I said, "F it, I'm going all faves."
You know that's not gonna happen.
No. I'm really hoping it's Anthony Pettis that makes that not happen, but I'm trying to put my bias aside because he's one of my favorite fighters.
And he's just not a fan of El Kukui.
Maybe I can. Cause I might be able to watch that fight. I'm staying in a hotel somewhere, but I don't know how late we're staying out for the wedding and shit. So
yeah. I mean, the main card usually doesn't start until 10. So
yeah.
Two of my three favorite.
The main
fighters.
Fight won't be till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Two of my three favorite fighters are on that card. Because my favorite fighters are Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis, and Khabib. And Anthony and Khabib are on that, and then Diaz isn't that far around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't think we'd see Diaz fight again.
I'm just excited to see McGregor back in the ring.
Let's make sure he actually shows up to that fight because he was a little butthurt over the Conor thing. So we'll see what happens there. Oh man,
let's wrap up this record long.
It's not record long actually.
That's one of our longest.
You guys had technical difficulties, so it's restarted.
True. We didn't start till like 10-15 after.
I'm excited. It's football time. I don't know about you guys.
I am more than.
Does this mic work?
Hello?
Whoops, wrong one.
What are we doing?
There we go.
Another one's maybe. We're doing that, and I want to go out.
Yeah.
We'll see if she trades. I have to talk to her tonight.
Go Sun Devils.
Yeah, down with that. That more
Backwards Z.
Those pitchforks.
That is more just Michigan State sucking.
I want Michigan State.
Always cool.
Fuck Philly.